The Nigerian Data Protection Commission is seeking more collaboration and involvement with other African countries to strengthen the regulatory framework and enforcement mechanisms of data protection privacy. The National Commissioner of NDPC, Vincent Olatunji, disclosed this when he received a delegation of 9 data protection experts on a study tour from Somalia at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. TVC News' Tijesu Adeoye reports.
Digital experts from Somalia pays a visit to the Nigerian Data Protection Commission to explore Nigeria's data protection ecosystem, its unique models, and enforcement mechanisms of data protection privacy. Somalia's ambassador to Nigeria is particularly elated about this engagement, which he believes will give the delegates an opportunity to gain useful knowledge that will improve the Somalian Data Protection Authority in a transformative capacity.
Somalia needed you in this critical time. Your knowledge, your experience, everything you have is needed in Somalia. Try to stand beside Somalia now, because Somalia is coming out from conflict situation to peaceful situation. I hope in the coming few years, Somalia will be booming, but we need the knowledge, we need the experience of our brothers in Nigeria.
The National Commissioner and Nigerian Data Protection Commission believes this strategic partnership will help strengthen the bilateral relationship between both countries.
And the 5th part of our own pillar is cooperation and collaboration. There is no way you can sit in your country and enforce your law effectively and efficiently. You need to collaborate with other DPAs across the world and all these other bodies like NADPA, like GPA, to learn from them, to share experiences, knowledge exchange, and so many other things. It's not going to be easy, it's going to be rough. And at times we meet with a lot of opposition, a lot of resistance, especially those who believe, oh, this is what we've been doing, not this way. It must continue that way. For you to be able to convince them that they are doing ways of doing things, things are changing, for them to be part of global, what is happening at the global level, for your country to be respected and be valued as a country that is ready for digital business, they need to change.
It is expected that the training and interaction will instill practical knowledge that will be beneficial in implementing data protection and privacy, as well as global recognition. Tijesu Adeoye, TVC News, Abuja.
The country director of Hague Institute for Innovative Law, Ijoma Owanfo, says the customary court should be the custodian of records from issues resolved by traditional rulers. She said this at the launch of the 2024 Justice Needs and Satisfactory Survey report in Abuja. Celestine Area reports.
The JNS report survey started in 2022, where data was collected and issues reported in 2023. These issues vary from land dispute, domestic violence, and neighborhood disputes. The primary target are citizens in the rural areas, identifying the legal challenges and how they are resolved. In 2023, same survey was conducted using same people who had earlier been interviewed in 2022 to see if the legal issues they had then have been resolved. The JNS report points out most Nigerians resolve their legal issues outside the formal justice sector. Hill's findings emphasize the critical need for a comprehensive framework that incorporates traditional institutions to ensure more effective and accessible justice for all Nigerians.
We must find a meeting point between informal and formal justice sector. So if a traditional ruler rules on an issue, land issue, it has to be archived by the formal sector. Because if not, you see people who have been in court for 17 years, 18 years. Why? If you look at the root of the problem, it was first resolved informally. But somebody who is smart enough to know, just saying that there's no record, will take advantage of. That's something, we call them game changers. That's a game changer. If we now link the institutional resolution to formal sector, even if it's at the customary court.
We have multi-door courthouses in the various courts to enable people solve their disputes outside the courts. The National Judicial Institute, for instance, championing the diversion program where underage, their cases are handled differently. outside the court system.
The most pressing justice problem was domestic violence. So what we did, we came up with an application that's a physical office where they have the one-stop shop for the prevention of domestic violence. It's in the process. We've not finished. We're finishing by next year. There will be an office where people, survivors, or even people who are facing domestic violence can walk in, and there will be the application. They can go online.
Resolving dispute requires people-centered approach, which involves reforming the justice system to allow for equal access to justice and legal information. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.
In other news, the federal government has handed over 20 compressed natural gas-powered buses to the Oyo State government. The presentation was made by Project Director and CEO of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, Michael Oluwagbemi, to the management of Pacesetter Transport Service in Ibadan. Senior reporter Laide Oyewole has more in this report.
Residents of Oyo State may now begin to enjoy low transportation costs with the distribution of this set of compressed natural gas buses to the state. This set of 20 CNG vehicles is the maiden distribution by the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, aimed at alleviating the burden of high transportation costs amongst residents of Oyo State following the removal of fuel subsidy. They were received on behalf of the state by the management of the Oyo State Pacesetter Transport Service.
That the cost of transportation will start to moderate, especially on the routes where these buses are running. We expect and we have the confidence in the Pacesetter Transport Services. So as we start this program in Oyo State, we are taking this program to Lagos State tomorrow. Next week, we'll be taking this program to FCT and taking it to Kwara State. And that's how we're going to be covering all the states of Nigeria in the next 24 months.
The buses are expected to be managed efficiently to enable the federal government to repay and acquire more vehicles in the future.
In the first phase of this program, we are getting about over just 500 buses. As these buses are being used and commuters are paying for it, part of that goes into a fund that can then be used to buy more buses. So that way we are also creating jobs, because these buses, as you're seeing them here, were assembled in Nigeria.
Chairman of the Pacesetter Transport Service commended the initiative and described it as a strategic solution to numerous challenges facing the country.
I'm receiving these buses on behalf of the Governor of Oyo State, His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde, who has keyed into this project. And when you are asking for sustainability or the maintenance of all buses, in Oyo State, we are leading and we are the best in what we do. And that is why they are now subscribing to that interest. We have put so many things in place, then I believe that we can sustain it in Oyo State.
As Oyo State embraces this eco-friendly transport solution, residents look forward to enhanced mobility, low emissions, and reduced transport costs. Olaide Oyewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
Governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has stressed the need for a competent, accountable, and transparent public service that effectively utilizes resources and delivers measurable results. The governor spoke at the inauguration of 4 permanent secretaries and 3 tutors general in the secondary school subsector. Senior reporter Ayodiji Moradeyo has more.
The Coca Conference Hall of the Governor's Office, Alagbaka Akure, was a venue for the swearing-in ceremony, which was attended by traditional rulers, technocrats, religious leaders, and other dignitaries. The occasion marked the second edition in the series of appointments and inaugurations of officers at the topmost echelon.
Consider it a major ally.
In his speech, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa charged the newly inaugurated officials to lead by example and ensure the delivery of quality services in their respective areas. He urged workers in the public service to support efforts in generating and conserving funds for development.
The officers that are being inaugurated today, I must tell you that your jobs have just begun. You have to lead from the front to ensure quality service delivery in your respective areas of jurisdiction, both in the mainstream civil service and the schools sector. I must reiterate our total commitment to the education sector in terms of infrastructural turnaround.
The state's head of service, Bayo Phillips, appreciated the governor for his commitment to enhancing workers' welfare.
I cannot be happier having a chief executive and an administration believing in and showing delight, not only in regular promotion and payment of salary, but in elevating deserving officers to the grade of permanent secretary.
Some of the newly appointed officials promised to bring their wealth of experience to bear.
Almighty God be on my side. I will contribute my quota to the development of our dear Sunshine State.
Now is the time to do more. I'm going to put myself more into the job, advise the government on critical issues, and more effective and efficient in my duties.
To whom much is given, much is expected. These newly sworn-in permanent secretaries and others are expected to contribute to the development of the state. Ayodeji Moradeyo, TVC News.